Hey, good Tuesday morning. It's November 25th. It's really almost Thanksgiving. It's a couple of days. Still got the turkey wagon down there. If you watched us on Illegal
Mhm.
Formation on Saturday, you know about the turkey wagon. We got the turkey wagon going on. Hey, listen. Like I said, we're on the Inside Edge Network. This is Illegal Formation Reacts. I'm your host. I'm Chad Bryan. I got my man TK Dandridge with me. TK, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. A pretty quiet Tuesday morning today. It started raining actually. So
Yeah, it's a pretty dreary, rainy morning, man. I guess it's that time of year where the sky turns gray for I don't know what about 9.5 months, and we get
very
maybe some
early
snow in our
too.
drive. Yeah, pretty early. We'll see. It always fluctuates, but we'll see this year. Who knows? What are we going to talk about today? We got to look back. Shedeur Sanders became the first Browns quarterback since the legendary Eric Zaire in 1995 to win his starting debut as a Browns quarterback. Um, Eric Zaire, the famously, decades-long franchise quarterback that took the Browns to multiple Super Bowl championships. If you remember that alternate universe correctly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what this tells us. I mean, people are excited, and I think that's okay, right? You can be excited about it. He showed some flashes. He played pretty well, 11-20, a little over 200 yards, a touchdown. I thought and people go, oh, it was a screen pass. The guy took it. Well, we've seen, quarterbacks as of late, our quarterback as of late, have a lot of trouble with that similar pass. So I don't know. The fact that he put it on the money and hit him in stride and let him take it 66 yards, Dylan Sampson, on that little screen. I think you got to give Shedeur Sanders a little bit of credit there on the pass. Whatever.
Mhm.
They got the win, right? I mean, largely on
Yes.
the back of the defense. I know 10 sacks, whatever. The Raiders are whatever. The Raiders are the Raiders.
hmm
People are calling them the Faders online. I don't know.
And
TK, you think
we're
it's
the
okay?
Cleveland Browns.
Yes, the Faders and the Browns.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. TK, is it okay to be excited? I mean, were you excited by Shedeur Sanders and the Browns on Sunday?
I had there was a moment there where I was a little bit jovial about what I was seeing on the field. Obviously, the big throw by Shedeur to Isaiah Bond early in the second quarter was absolutely brilliant. Obviously, watching Miles flip his lid on the sideline was
Yeah,
probably the funniest thing I'd seen all month. So yeah, definitely a little bit of excitement there. But I just kept thinking, why did it take so long for this?
yeah,
What if we had made some different moves earlier? What if we had made this wide receiver core a little bit better? What if we had been more serious about building the offensive line? What if if we had just taken more punitive measures to make this offense a more desirable unit than what it has been this year, instead of having to, hold on to a performance in week 12 where you're already 2-8, and you're still looking for an answer, not necessarily for this season, but for this season and the future going forward.
hmm
So, once you do get excited, us in-depth fans, us fans that have been here for a long time, our brain starts to wander and we start to think, well, this would have been nice in week one, but
yeah. Or
we didn't
or
get
you
that.
or you start to think, when does the other shoe drop? Like, when does something
Mm,
bad happen? You know what I mean?
mm,
Yeah, but I think it's okay to show some excitement. I mean, I know a lot of people are on like saying, "Calm down, it's the Raiders," and I agree, it is the Raiders. I mean, I'm not arguing that he beat a great NFL team, but it is an NFL team nonetheless. I mean, they're professional football
right,
players. Um,
mm,
Not quite the same situation as the Jets, where they literally shipped out anybody of any worth on the defense. The Raiders still have some players. You got Max Crosby over there. I know he was a little bit slowed by a sore knee on Sunday, but
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I thought I thought he showed some flashes. He was better than he
mm,
was last Sunday against the Ravens, which
much better, yes.
it would have been difficult to be worse. um, but I don't know. I think a week of practice with the ones kind of showed you a little bit. I mean, that's 1 week. Um, he's already been named the starter for, and I said his name. I already messed up. I told you we were going to do the whole show without saying his name, Kevin Stefanski style, but I can't. Apparently, I can't
It
do it.
was it was going to be difficult.
It
I
was
know.
going to be very difficult. Anyway, 12 was
Mm,
named the starter. 12, the
mm,
quarterback, the football slinger guy over there,
mm,
with the dad that used to play.
mm,
Um, he was named the starter against the Niners. The Browns will host the 49ers this weekend. And you wonder immediately, like your head goes to, well, how does he do against San Francisco? Um, you know, a team you could say a little bit better position than the Raiders. Still some injuries on the defense.
Very
Not
good
full strength.
defense still.
Yeah, not full strength at all, but still a good defense. So you kind of wonder how he'll look this Sunday. And it's like, again, he's going to be right back under the microscope. And
Mhm.
if he rightfully has a tough game against, a pretty good defense, where are we on the knee-jerk reaction scale? Do we yank him out of there? Is he done for the season? Is it back to Dylan Gabriel? You know what I mean? Like, everything's so game to game with the Browns, and it has been for such a long time that it feels uneasy. And I think there's just so much peace of mind when you come into a season or you go into whatever. When you eventually figure out who your starting quarterback is, there's this peace of mind that we haven't had here for a quarter of a century. And even when we had Baker Mayfield, half the fans were unhappy with him. And, I guess looking back, I mean, hindsight's always 2020, but you can look back and see the warts. He did need to grow up a little bit, right? I mean, he hit a little barnstorming tour around the country, played for a few different teams, and he's kind of settled into Tampa Bay. And I think he's I don't want to say he's a different person. He still plays with a chip on his shoulder and wears his emotions on his sleeves, but, maybe a little more mature, handles some of the situations a little bit more mature, a little bit better, you could say. I didn't think anything was necessarily that egregious when he was here. I just thought he was just a fiery, confident young kid, which I don't know, seemingly we just have a problem with confidence these days, depending on where it comes from. Sometimes, I don't know, people like JJ McCarthy's confidence, but then they'll call Shedeur Sanders arrogant, and I don't know, it's confusing, but whatever. Try not to dip into that stuff too much. Yeah, overall, I thought the first start went pretty well for Shedeur. I'm not gonna anoint him the next Tom Brady, but I'm also not gonna anoint him the next Spurgeon win or anything. I don't think he's just gonna go away. I think he's a pretty good competitor. Yeah, I think he's a good competitor. I think he's gonna keep working. I don't know what kind of results we're gonna see. I can't. It's really hard to predict the future with these Browns. You just don't really know going forward if he's going to be the starter next year. If he is the starter, what the offensive line may look like, what the receiving room may look like. And you said something about the receiver room and them, improving it. We kind of thought maybe, okay, this gets better with Shedeur out here, right? And then Jerry Jeudy makes a catch and he's on the run, and suddenly he thinks he's playing point guard in the NBA, tries to dribble the ball at midfield. I don't understand what happened there.
The receiver room will immediately improve the day that Jerry Jeudy is no longer on this football team.
Okay. Has he quit? I mean, is he done? What is
I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know if he sniffed a big one before the game or if he just, I don't know what in God's name that was. I don't think I've seen anything that goofy in an NFL game in quite some time. It's been years since I've seen a gaffe like that. I understand he wanted to juke the defenders. That's what it looked like. But Jeremy Chin just runs straight behind him and just punches that thing free. It's one of the worst things ever. I know a lot of people still have nightmares about Ernest Biner's fumbles. Jerry Judy's was way worse. Granted, a meaningless game, but if you actually saw the way that play went down, I mean, it's one of the worst plays you'll ever see ever.
Kind of reminds me of some of that Terry Rozier film, man. He's just dropping the basketball, whatever. Film. I said film like it was on, whatever. Video. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Stream. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I thought it went pretty well. 24-10. They beat the Raiders. The Raiders aren't really much to write home about. I get that. Geno Smith is struggling. That whole offense is struggling. Man, they really, really struggled to contain the Browns' pass rush. 10 sacks, like I said, in that game for the Browns. Myles Garrett had 3. You got to think he's on a pretty good pace to break that record of 22.5 in the season, right?
Absolutely. We're getting 25 this year. Okay. I think it's very, very possible to get 25. Yeah. We have 6 games left, and he already has 18. Yeah. So I think there's a big possibility he gets 25 this year. Yeah. He's gonna break that record.
And I think it's okay to be motivated by that in a season where your team's 3-8. It's unrealistic to go out there and say, well, we're gonna win, these next 6 in a row to win the last 7 of the season. and or whatever, you know what I mean, and end up, well, I guess there would be one more, and end up 11-6 or whatever they could do now. Still wouldn't guarantee you a playoff spot, but I don't know. I think it's okay to be motivated by personal goals at this point for Myles Garrett. I mean, it's okay, right, to be chasing 22 and a half, 23, whatever, maybe 25, like you said.
Well, if you think about these next few matchups that we have, the San Francisco 49ers, now that's going to be tough having to go against Trent Williams. That's obviously going to be a tall task. You think of some of the offensive tackles in the league that have actually been able to block him.
And a system where they like to get the ball out pretty quickly there too. They like to get the ball out of it, you know what I mean? So that's going to be another thing going against them.
Absolutely. And you think, well, Trent Williams is one of those guys, right up there with Laramie Tunsil, who's giving him problems in the past as well.
Yeah.
So that might be a challenge. Tennessee, you got Dan Moore. I mean, that is probably the highest paid turnstile that has ever been made in American history. Dan Moore is not a lockdown left tackle whatsoever. I don't know what made the Tennessee Titans want to give him $82 million, but they did. So I'll have a good time with that.
You got to give somebody $82 million, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
And we have the Bears. Their left tackle, I believe, is Braxton Jones. Either Braxton Jones or Ozzie Trapolo. Either way, come on. Miles has that. Yeah. Week 16 against the Bills. Deion Dawkins is a very good tackle as well, but again, he should be able to, at the very least, get one. Then you got the Steelers, Broderick Jones. That's lunchtime. And
probably of course, see Aaron Rodgers back by then, I would think, right?
Right. And that's even more lunchtime. Yeah. And then you finish the season off against the Bengals, Orlando Brown Jr. as dinner time. So, that's a pretty solid path to 25 sacks, I think.
There you go. If he's got room, maybe he can fit a little dessert in. We talked about the pumpkin pie on Saturday. I don't know. So some things, I guess there are things to look forward to if you're a Browns fan. It's not all doom and gloom, right? There's a little bit of flash, a little bit of hope at the quarterback position. Again, I'm not trying to anoint, Shedeur Sanders the next franchise starting quarterback. I'm not saying, you stop analyzing quarterbacks in the draft next year, anything like that. The guy won his first start. You're happy for him. You can move on. It's okay to just be happy for someone. We don't have to. It takes a lot of energy to hate. You know what I mean? It just takes a lot of energy to be so negative toward a guy when he plays for your team. That's a tough look.
We've been doing it for years.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? I don't know. Whatever. So speaking of hate, TK, there's a game coming up this weekend. You may have heard of it. They just refer to it as the game. It's a couple of Division I tackle football programs. They have helmets, uniforms, and everything. It's kind of a big deal, I guess. This league, it's college students, and they I guess in their spare time, they all get together and they play in a football league, and it's a pretty big deal. And these two teams that play on Saturday, TK, they don't like each other, from what I understand. I'm looking at one's called Ohio State, one's called the Ohio State University. They're the Buckeyes, and the other one is the University of Michigan. They're the Wolverines. So listen, I don't know much about whatever this whole thing is, but these two teams really don't like each other. They played for a long time. The yellow team, I guess, maize, whatever.
Maize.
This crappy color team over here. Anyway, they lead the series. Michigan leads the series all time, 62 to 51. They've got 6 ties. Michigan has 62 wins in this. We've got, 1 win vacated now from the Buckeyes, which is just ridiculous from the 2011 season, whatever. I love the fact that tattoos apparently give you a competitive advantage over your opponents on the field. Look good, feel good, play good, I guess.
Scandal in sports then. It's the dumbest scandal now.
I mean, it was
other than the Deflategate crap, which was also stupid.
That was pretty dumb.
Yeah, let's investigate a 38-point ass whooping and see what we find.
Come on.
Nothing.
Right. You got Bill Parcells recording people's practices, whatever. There's just all kinds of mess. Anyway, Ohio State, Michigan on Saturday. It's in Ann Arbor, right? We go to Michigan. We got to play in Michigan on Saturday. Weather could be a little bit, cold again. It seems like every time you have a game, the week before Michigan, it's like 55 and sunny, right? And then you get to that Saturday after Thanksgiving, man, something happens and it turns snowy and it's cold and it's windy and whatever. I think the Buckeyes, and listen, this is a rivalry game. You can throw the records out. I mean, Michigan comes in at 9-2. The Buckeyes are obviously 11-0. They're undefeated. They haven't really, I guess 14-7 was a close game against Texas, but
Mhm.
they really haven't been in any danger all season of losing. I mean, they're a really, really finely tuned machine. I know they haven't played the toughest schedule in the league or in the nation. I get that. I understand that. Again, just like I'm not anointing Shedeur Sanders the next, franchise guy for the Browns, I'm
Right,
not going to sit
right.
here and tell you that the Buckeyes are by far and away the best team in the country. We don't know that yet. I think just looking at it objectively and fairly, we just really don't know. Um, but they look, they passed the eye test. They look really good, right? The defense looks good. The defense has stopped everyone they played. You can't ask for more than that. They really haven't had any hiccups. Like usually you see these Ohio State teams come out and you go, well, if they do that against Michigan, they haven't done anything like that this year. They've just looked really good. They've looked really efficient. I think that's some of Ryan Day. We talked about it a little bit on the show. After that Michigan game last year when they came and planted the flag and Ryan Day was just sort of standing there on the field, just had this look on his face and everyone's like, look at him, he looks dumb. He doesn't even know what happened. I feel like it was the opposite. I feel like that was like his origin story, man. Like that was when he became a villain, right? That was when he became evil Ryan
Yeah,
Day.
yeah.
That was the moment. Like you can look back and you can see the change. Like the switch got flipped right there. So I think he has this team more prepared. I think it's a smart approach. They've gone less offensive snaps than basically anybody in the nation, but they've been really, really efficient. I know they're not putting up 50, 60 points a game, but you don't have to when your defense allows basically less than a touchdown a game. I mean, what you just have to do enough to win, right? You got to hold on to the football and not make mistakes. And they've done that with the first time starting quarterback, redshirt freshman Julian Sand, 27 touchdown passes. Everything looks really good. I mean, you wonder about the health of Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, obviously. Um, that's on your mind. I mean, some people say it's a pure mind game to mess with Michigan. I think that's weird. I think there probably is some kind of a concern there. It would be weird to hold two guys out just to mess with your rival, right? Like you're not going to do that. But how do you feel about Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, first of all, going into this game? And how do you feel overall about just where Ryan Day and where this team's like where their heads are, where their mindset is going into this Michigan game in Ann Arbor on Saturday at noon?
Well, I definitely think the Ohio State Buckeyes are in the absolute best shape that they could possibly be in.
Yeah.
I definitely give Ryan Day a ton of credit for continuing his so-called villain arc and making this Ohio State football team even more of a powerhouse, look even more of a powerhouse than what they already have achieved. I definitely think the idea is to go in there and get the 12th win of the year. This is a university that we have lost to 4 consecutive years in a row. Now, I
Yeah.
do understand that we do have hardware. I understand that we've been able to do what we needed to do to get to where we wanted to be, especially last year after we lost that 13-10 matchup against Michigan, and then we went on that wild playoff run. I definitely think the guys want to get this win worse than anything, especially for these seniors
Yeah.
who have been getting the crap kicked out of them by Michigan their entire collegiate career. They definitely want to go into Ann Arbor and steal one. This is going to be a tough game. It's probably
Yeah.
going to be one of the toughest games that we've played, a la when we played Texas earlier this year. This is definitely a solid football team, regardless of how underwhelming the quarterback has been. I understand Bryce Underwood has had his fair share of problems. And obviously, one of their talented runners is not going to be of service for them on Saturday. But at the
Yeah.
same time, this is a very good football team that is balanced. They have a wonderful defense. Special teams has always been solid at the University of Michigan. Sharon Moore doing just what he needs to do to continue to keep this Michigan program relevant. And so we better be ready to go because
Yeah.
we have lost to worse teams in the
Oh
past.
yeah.
Granted, that last year team that went 8-5, they had a ton of talent still remaining from the team that had won the national championship a year before that. Obviously, Mason Graham destroyed that game. He's ours now. Hi, buddy.
Right.
So yeah, it's just we got to go in here, get this weird taste out of our mouth, get these seniors a much needed, much deserved win against these Michigan Wolverines if this is the last thing that we do for the college football regular season part.
Yeah. I think you got to watch out for Derek Moore. I think he could wreak some havoc in the passing game. He's got 9.5 sacks. The Buckeyes seem to have trouble controlling some of these edge guys the last few years, from Michigan. And I don't know. I mean, I guess you can say part of that is for a little while, the defense knew what was being called, right? Michigan knew the play calls that were coming in. I mean, we can't deny that. We know that was going on. I know Michigan fans don't like to admit to that or like to tell you that stealing signs is normal. And that is normal on the field. If you can decipher a team's signs on the field, that's perfectly fine. That's always been okay. That's always been acceptable. It's the problem is using technology to do it, I think, is
Right.
what people got held up on. Whatever. It's neither here nor there. It's over now. And listen, I've said on my other show that the rivalry, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but I've said on my other show that losing the game last year didn't matter. And I've been getting torn apart. I've been called a liar by Michigan fans. They usually spell it wrong. It's whatever. But I mean, I don't mean to say that I care if they win or not. I do care. I want Ohio State to win. It's not that I don't care, but it just didn't matter. I mean, look, they lost the game. They didn't go to the Big Ten championship. Everyone laughed at them, and then they ran right through the playoffs and won a national title. And it just, I mean, yeah, looking back on it, it really didn't matter. Did it hurt?
What
at
are
the
we
time?
upset about?
Sure. What's that?
What are we lying about?
I don't know. I guess I'm being called a liar because I said that the game didn't matter. I mean, in the course of history, it really didn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a game. It's a game. You win or you lose. You have one option or the other. That's it. Does it hurt when you lose? Yeah.
Of course.
Did it ruin the Buckeye season? No. I mean,
not
at
at
all.
all.
No, not at all. And in fact, it probably kicked them into gear. So that's what I mean when I say I don't care. I don't care that they lost because they went on to win a national title. To me, that's more important. That's
very much
that's
important.
The goal. That's the biggest goal. But yeah, you want to beat your rivals, right? You don't want to go in here and lose 5 in a row. You don't want to do that.
No.
That's not going to feel good. So Michigan fans, take it easy. Listen, I respect your team. Like, I don't want to lose to you, but I'm just saying that in the course of things, if you go on to win a national title after you lose this game, it doesn't matter, right?
If that would have happened to them, they'd be saying the same thing that we're saying.
Exactly.
And they would be right.
And they would be right. And it's whatever. I mean, I think, whatever. Opinions are opinions, right? I mean, I'm not trying to state that it's a fact that it doesn't matter. I'm just saying it's my personal opinion that it really just doesn't matter as much. And I agree. I mean, the Super Brother says, for Ohio State, the ultimate goal is winning the championship. For Michigan, the goal is beating Ohio State. And that's fine. I mean, if you are in the position where, I mean, listen, they know they're probably not going to go too far in the playoffs with quarterback play being what it has been this season. And that's okay. Bryce Underwood's a freshman. Nobody expects him to come out here and be, second year LSU Joe Burrow. Like, he's got time to develop. It's going to be fine. Or it's not. That's the thing about quarterbacks. You never know, right? He could regress. He could get better. Whatever. There are options there. But again, I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade at the kid. It just hasn't been very good this year. He hasn't been very dynamic. You still have to worry about his legs. He can still take off and make a lot of plays with his legs. I think luckily the Buckeyes have seen some running quarterbacks. I think they have a better scheme against that than they had with Jim Knowles. Now this year with Matt Patricia to stop those running quarterbacks. I think they've got the speed and the talent and just the intelligence on this defense to kind of counteract that a little bit better than they did last year, especially in that first matchup against Oregon, where it felt like Dylan Gabriel had 20 yards down the seam, or up the seam, I should say, just every single play. I mean, it was wide open up the middle. You could just take off, and there was no one even near him. You could have driven the Oregon equipment truck through the hole. But, I think they're just a little bit better equipped to handle that. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I expect this to be a close, tough battle, man. I don't think Ohio State's going to go out there and win, 59-3 or whatever, like a lot of people seem to. I don't think it's going to be a game like that.
It would be nice.
It would be nice. And if it does, and listen, it could happen, and it would absolutely surprise me. Yeah, I agree with this. I mean, Matt Patricia is the Ohio State MVP. I mean, you took a defense that was already very good.
For sure.
And you've made them so much more efficient and almost untouchable, unbeatable. I mean, I'm not saying they can't be beaten, but they're almost, when the defense plays to their, to their full strength and their full ability, and their full potential, that's a tough team to beat, man. Because you've got Julian Sand.
Really should stay in collegiate ball. There's no need to return to the NFL. Stay in collegiate ball, my friend.
Yeah. I think sometimes you just find your spot, your comfort spot, your niche, right? Like, and you settle in. And I'm not saying you shouldn't strive for more, but I mean, what's wrong with being a defensive coordinator in a place like the Ohio State, man? Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Especially when you've already embarrassed yourself as a head coach.
It happens. You know what I mean? Happens. It's hard to win in the NFL. It's hard to win. Listen, I take over teams on Madden. 4-12 or whatever. It's hard to win. So I can't throw stones there. But yeah, I don't know. I just I agree with you. I think he's better suited in college. And I've been thinking about Brian Hartline too. And I know people get in their feelings and they get in their emotions a little bit about Brian Hartline and him being a possible target for Penn State. And people go, "Oh, there's no way he'd ever listen." I don't know if he would or not. I feel like he probably wants to make his impact in Columbus at Ohio State. But I don't know. What do you think? I mean, do you think he would leave for Penn State or no?
Brian Hartlick is just like any other human. He's gonna go where the money at. If the money is at the University of Ohio State, I guarantee he stays. It's his alma mater. I definitely think it is a big piece of him. But at the same time, granted, how disgusting we may be of Penn State University as a whole, he's gonna go where the money at. He's going to go where the money is. More than likely, they're going to look for him to be not only the receiver coach there, he may have some offensive coordinator implications as well, which off the back is going to guarantee him more money, regardless if he goes to Penn State or any other school. He can go to Kennesaw State, and I'm sure the money would be better as the offensive coordinator there, as opposed to being the wide receiver coach here.
Well, but he is the offensive coordinator here now, though. You know what I mean?
Very true. Very true. I don't know why I thought he was just a wide receivers coach. That's my apology. Sorry
that's
about
okay.
that.
You're living in the past, man. That's okay. Like you are what Michigan fans say Ohio State fans always do. They say we live in the past because we won back in the 2000s. So that's what we talk about. That's okay.
They do the same thing.
They do. You're right.
But yeah, bottom line is always going to be money. He has a family. He obviously has aspirations and a legacy to carry and things of that nature. So yeah, the money is definitely going to be doing a lot of talking in this situation. So Ohio State better be ready to pay up.
Yeah, I mean he's making over $2 million there as the offensive coordinator. But you would think a place like Penn State, even for a first-time head coach. And by the way, the Super Brothers said, be a superstar in your role, Matt Patricia. That's exactly it. Just lean into what you do, right? You don't have to. Okay, Heartline, he says, is making $1.6 million just as an assistant per last year's number. I think he's now over 2. I think they updated those, and I think he's over 2 now total, maybe with bonuses and everything else. But maybe you get like a play calling bonus at Ohio State. I have no idea. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, and if he does leave TK, I'm not going to be mad at him. I mean, hey, if his aspiration is to go lead a Division I program into battle, whatever, even if that happens to be somewhat of a rival, I guess, program, right? Penn State. I can't be mad at him for that. I mean, guys get to do whatever it is they want to do. I mean, your career is your career. You can't sit around and wait for, loyalty and the spot at your alma mater to open up. It may never open up. Ryan Day may be there for the next 12 to 15 years, and Heartland may pass up all of his chances. I mean, listen, give the guy, let him do what he needs to do for him, right? Whether that's, and listen, if he goes to Michigan, that stinks. That really stings. That hurts. I know people like to really get hung up on that, but whatever, man. If that's the offer and that's where the money is and that's where his opportunity is, then that's where he goes. That's life. You know what I mean? It's a game at the end of the day. It's a game. I know there's a lot of hate. It's sports hate. I don't hate Michigan. I don't hate Michigan fans. I'm not going to fight anybody over a game. I don't care that much. I do care. I want my team to win, but I understand that sometimes my team is going to lose, and I'm okay with that too. It's just, as a fan, what can I really do other than watch, right? Like I can't,
right.
I can't have this like psychopathic mentality that somehow my rooting changes the outcome. Like I just, whatever, right? Like you watch the game and you don't let it affect your life. If they lose, you move on, right? It's okay. It's okay. Live to fight another day. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's not a whole lot that jumps out on paper about Michigan, but like I said, in these rivalry games, you throw all that out. You throw the record out, you throw the stats out. Guys like Tim Biaka-Batuka come up and run for 300 yards and 86 touchdowns or whatever, and just weird things happen in these games, man. And I agree with you. Loyalty means nothing anymore. Players don't have alumni. Think it matters. Boosters and coaches. Yeah, listen, it's about NIL and it's about brand. It's about growing your brand, right? Like your brand strength. It's about making as much money and making as much, I don't know, of a legacy as you possibly can while you're there. Some guys really care about the school. I get it. There's more of a brotherhood at Ohio State than probably some other programs across the country. But yeah, you don't really have like a lot of the local rosters anymore. It's not like Georgia has, 86 guys from the state of Georgia on the roster and then a couple guys from, surrounding states. I mean, listen, we're going all over. We're getting guys from California, Montana, North Dakota, whatever, right? Like you've got guys from all over the country that don't necessarily have that sense of the tradition and the pageantry or whatever of Ohio State, or maybe even come in here completely fully understanding the rivalry with Michigan, right? They just come in and they know it's whatever. Like I know Alabama Auburn is a big game, but if I went down there, I'd probably be in shock at how some people handle it, right? I think it's the same way for some of these kids coming into here. It's just like, wow, this is really a big game. Like two schools really hate each other. But that's how it is. I mean, I've seen fans fighting online. And before we get out of here, TK, is there anything else? I mean, anything that you think we should look for on the field, off the field, just as we head into hey, but like you said, but Youngstown State does. That's right. The Penguins do. The Penguins care. Come on now. We know that. By the way, they've got some new helmets that are just fire. I wish I had the picture. I could put it up on the show, but they released a new helmet a couple weeks ago. It's got the big Penguin logo. I mean, they're absolute fire. They're awesome. Anyway, anything we need to look for, or you think on the field that we're going to see on Saturday that's going to make a difference in this game, or off the field leading up to it? Somebody going to say something stupid and like light a fire? I don't know. Any of that stuff going to go on or what?
I really don't think anything is going to happen leading up to the game. Because right now we look like the most complete team in all of college football right now. I really don't see Michigan trying to, climb up the tree and, try to intimidate us or, talk down on us or what have you. Or, somebody might try to start something to get something going, but it's just like, the Ohio State Buckeyes are 11-0. They got bigger fish to fry right now. They're just as focused as you are about winning this game, especially being the number one seed in the country. And, of course, with the goal being to repeat as national champions. We got a lot going on, so we don't want to do none of that jawing until Saturday.
Yeah.
That's probably the best thing for us to do, just to wait until this weekend and leave it all out on the field.
Yeah. And listen, there's not a lot of pressure. I mean, you go into this game and you lose, you're still in the playoffs. I mean, I don't think that there's any, unless Ohio State just gets like absolutely embarrassed and blown off the field and Michigan wins like 84-0 or something. I mean, I don't see a way that Ohio State could possibly fall out of the playoff situation. So I feel like just in that sense alone, I mean, it gives you a little bit of confidence. It's like, hey, we have a backup plan. Even if we do lose this game, yeah, people are going to talk about us. It's going to be 5 in a row. It's not good. The fire Ryan Day stuff is going to start back up. But again, there's not a whole lot to lose. It's not like they're going to be out of the playoffs. They're still going to be a playoff team. So I feel like that just gives you that little bit of a safety net to where it's not so dire. Some guys really like that pressure. Some guys don't. People are different. I personally, I think I love these kind of games or whatever. Even as a player, where you got to go in and you have to win no matter what. Super Brother says even if they lose, they'll still get to play Little Brother Indiana in the conference championship. I mean, yeah, it looks like they'll still be there. So, listen, I don't know. I mean, is it that big of a deal? Yeah, it's a rivalry game. Is it life or death? The way some people are making it, no. And speaking of some people, this is a brand new section. TK didn't even know we were going to do this. This is called In the Comments, right? I scroll a lot on social media, and I read some wild stuff, right? So this first, our first entry for In the Comments this week was that people were talking about Ohio State and how it's basically it's a lock because they could beat NFL teams, right? This Ohio, but whatever. Well, my man here, he differed from that opinion. He said, I love the Buckeyes, but there's no way Buckeyes could beat an NFL team. Browns look bad, but they bring in Buckeyes couches. Their UC Super Bowl team. It's not players, it's the couches. So apparently it's the seating arrangement. That's the more comfortable you are when you're sitting down, the better chance you have to win the football game. So I guess Saturday comes down to whoever has the most comfortable seating arrangement on the sideline. Now we know that, thanks to Blue Guy. And I'm not going to call anybody out on the show. I hide their identities or whatever. Sometimes I shouldn't, but I do. And our second entry from the comments, you're gonna love this one. Ready? What if and when a team wears dark? Where is dark? Where is dark? I don't know. At nighttime. And wins, they move down 2 and up 3 if the team behind 5 wins over 9. What?
I just had an aneurysm trying to read that. What the hell?
Those were the two best takes I could find all week for in the comments about the Ohio State Michigan game.
Mm.
I like this idea. The Super Brothers NCAA champ versus NFL team with #1 overall pick in the draft. Give the people what they want. But listen, if you lose that game as the NFL team, you lose that #1 pick in the draft. It's gone.
Yeah,
That's it. You lose to a college team, you don't get that draft pick, even though
that's
you've
fun.
clearly proven
That's a
that you need it.
fun idea.
I mean,
That
hey, you got
really is.
yeah. But listen, then maybe if you win the game by more than like 30 points, you get a supplemental pick, right? Like if you can pull
Mhm.
your stuff together and actually win that game. Or maybe you need a supplemental pick if you lose. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sure which one's the best idea. So TK, we can do all right. Here we go. Delegation and relegation. Well, listen, we got a lot of irrigation. Maybe we can do that too. What interrogation? We can ask some questions. Whatever you want, Super Brothers. We can do whatever you want. Just has to end in gation, I guess. So listen, Saturday, we don't have to do a score prediction today. We can wait. We can give the week a little bit of time to cook, let it marinate a little bit, TK, and we can come on here on Illegal Formation Saturday morning and we can give our score prediction if you want to do that. Or you can give me one now. It's up to you. What do you think?
Not really sure what happens. You're gonna have to get to me on Saturday, brother.
All right, fair enough. Let's let the week marinate. Let's find out. Let's get some clearer picture on guys' health. Yeah, that's a good point. Super. I was hoping nobody was going to go there, but you did it, man. Yeah, maybe we don't want that today. Maybe we'll leave that alone. And listen, I don't know. I have a good feeling about this game this year, but I also have a bad feeling because I've watched it go down the last 4 years where I really thought the Buckeyes came in every year as a better team. And some years I didn't think it was close, right? And they got run off the field a few times. So, as Michigan fans would like to remind you, the final score of last year's game was 13-10. Not a good showing, right? When you come in and you've got the ability to throw the ball all over the place, and you decide to run at two of the best defensive tackles in the country time after time after time. Maybe not the best game plan. So hopefully they've learned from that. I think Ryan Day is kind of, like we said, he's in his villain arc right now, right? He's moving up the villain chart. So hopefully with some of those, there were some diabolical game plans in the playoffs last year. I mean, they looked absolutely ridiculous. So maybe we'll see some of that on Saturday at noon in Ann Arbor. I don't know. I don't know what we'll see. I know we will see a pretty good football game, though. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. I think it's going to be a close one. And, anybody who doesn't think that Michigan's going to come in there and in their own house and put up a fight, I think you're sorely mistaken. I think this is a tough football team, man. I mean, say what you want about all the cheating allegations or whatever. They've still got a lot of heart, right? They're still a tough team. This is a really tough football team. Quarterback may not be, hitting his full stride just yet as a freshman, but that doesn't make him, any less dangerous on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Remember to check us out all week. We've got shows on the Inside Edge Network all week for you guys. You can just, like I said, just look us up on social media and you can see the whole lineup. We got Jersey Chasers coming up this week. All kinds of shows that are coming up between now and the next time TK and I see you, which will be next Saturday morning on Illegal Formation right here on the Inside Edge Network. TK, any words to end it today? You got any wise words, any wisdom for us as we depart or no?
The Carolina Panthers laid a massive egg last night on Monday Night Football after a brilliant performance against the Atlanta Falcons in Week 11. San Francisco's defense, regardless of the injuries that they have had to their personnel, they look amazing. They look in tune. They look sound. They look stout. They look like they're getting ready to turn that page and turn that next gear into heading towards the tournament. Brock Purdy, although he threw 3 interceptions in that first half and made J.C. Horn look like the second coming of Deion Sanders, he was able to bounce back in that second half to smooth things out, hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey, and get a 20-9 win in prime time. San Francisco 49ers very well may be the hottest team in the NFL heading into the second half of the season. Should be a lot to look forward to over there in the Bay.
Good thing we don't have to deal with them anytime soon, right? Wait. Uh-oh. That'll be next Sunday. That's fun. And Super Brothers, let's end it. I love it. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's go NFL turkeys. Maybe we'll see some turduckens on Sunday or on Thursday. What do you think? I don't know. See some turducken out there. Well, it's not the same without John Madden and Pat Summerall, is it? It's like I love Thanksgiving with those two. But hey, time moves on. What are you going to do? Pretty good slate of NFL games this week. We'll see some of them on Thursday. And then, like I said, we'll see you Saturday on Illegal Formation. And then, of course, Sunday morning at 11, we'll be live for the Inside Edge Network Cleveland Browns and NFL pregame show, where we will load up the Inside Edge Network vehicle, and we're going to go around the NFL and check out whatever's remaining of this week's game. So it'll be a little bit lighter load. But we look forward to seeing you guys then. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time on Illegal Formation Reacts. Until then, like I said, until we see you Saturday, you guys have a good week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. If you've got time off work, please enjoy your time with your family. Sometimes that's fleeting. So enjoy every second you get with your family. And I don't know, man, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.